Copyright 2014, Math, Diagnostics, and Intervention, all rights reserved. We're going to take a look at how to solve a level 3 equation. And a level 3 equation looks like 2, open parentheses, 3x plus 1, and we'll make that equal to 20. Now, the first thing we want to do with a level 3 problem is we want to distribute. If you don't remember how to distribute, you want to take a look at the level 1 distributive property video and practice the distributive property first. But if you remember how to do the distributive property, what we do is we take the number and its sign that's on the outside of the parentheses and we multiply it by everything on the inside of the parentheses. So we have 2 times 3x, that's 6x, plus 2 times 1 is 2, equals 20. And this is our old friend, the level 2 two-step equation. And we know what to do with that. We subtract 2 from both sides, and we get 6x equals 18. Divide both sides by 6, and we get x equals 3. This is a common practice in mathematics where we take a more complicated problem like this one and turn it into a problem that we know how to do like this one. And if you take a look at the 6x equals 18 right here, that's our old friend, the one-step equation, level 1. So we keep turning the problem into simpler problems that we already know how to do. Let's take a look at another example of a level 3 problem. Let's take a look at negative 2, open parentheses, 3x minus 4, and let's set that equal to 14. Once again, we're going to distribute. We're going to take the number and its sign. We're going to take the negative 2 and multiply by everything on the inside. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. And there are a couple of things that we could do with this. I'm going to do this first as subtract. The subtraction comes from there. Subtract negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8 equals 14. And then we're going to clean this up with keep, add, change. We keep the negative 6x, we change the subtraction to addition, and we change the sign of the negative 8 to 8, and that's equal to 14. This is our friend, the two-step equation, and again we know how to deal with that. We subtract 8 from both sides. We get negative 6x is equal to 6, our one-step equation. Divide both sides by negative 6, and we get x is equal to negative 1. Now, I did do a minus negative here. Frequently, you'll skip that intermediate step and you'll go directly into the following. You'll end up thinking about this as negative 2 times 3x. That's still negative 6x. But then you'll think of this as negative 2 times negative 4, which is positive 8. And now we're back to the same equation we were at right there, and we solve it exactly the same way. Let's take a look at one more example that sometimes confuses students, and that's if we have something like negative, open parentheses, negative x plus 7, and let's set that equal to negative 4. And the key to solving a problem like this is to remember that when I have a negative sign in front of a set of parentheses or in front of a variable with no number attached to it, that really means negative 1 times. So the negative in front of the parentheses really means negative 1 times what's inside of the parentheses. And the negative in front of my x represents negative 1 times the x. And once we recognize that those negative signs just mean negative 1 times, we can follow the same process. We're going to take the number and its sign, we're going to take this negative 1, and we're going to multiply it by everything on the inside. Negative 1 times negative 1x is 1x plus 7 equals negative 4. This is our friend, the level 0 or the two-step equation. Subtract 7, and we get 1x is equal to negative 11, And technically we could stop there because 1 times anything is just the anything, or you could follow through with the two-step process, divide that by 1, and x is equal to negative 11. The key to solving this type of problem is to remember that the negative sign in front of the parentheses and the negative sign in front of the x just mean negative 1 times the quantity. If you remember the distributive property, you should have very few problems with the level 3 problem. Good luck.